First up, though, it is time to welcome a former Ireland rugby hero who, on the pitch, was the fastest thing to come out of Monaghan since the Carrick-Macross bypass. Once voted Ireland's sexiest man, he still helps us rise. I didn't enter that year. Once voted Ireland's sexiest man, he still helps us rise every morning on Ireland AM, and we're delighted. Not like that, madam. And we're delighted to say he stayed up past his bedtime for us tonight. Would you please welcome Tommy Bowe?
Hello. You caught one. That was a me moment on Ireland every morning about rising every morning. That's a bad one to start with. Yeah, I learned that very early into the week. But listen, good to see you, Paddy.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Fine and well. You're looking. You've got a few admirers in the audience. We can see there tonight, Tommy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The last time you were on the show, Donogh O'Callaghan was with you, sitting beside you.
Yeah.
You guys then snook off and set up a podcast together. Where's my finder's fee for that?
Yeah, we started a new podcast called The Offload. I don't know, whenever you hit 40, the kids come along. I don't know about you, you just don't get to see your friends anymore. You don't get to catch up with mates. So myself and Donogh just decided it's a great distraction, a great excuse to the wife that we'll go catch up, chat for half an hour, 40 minutes every week, talk a little bit about rugby, talked about the parent-teacher meeting, talking about politics this week. And it's great crack. I really enjoy doing it.
Well, thank God you didn't come on the Late Late Show and sort of tell your wife that this is just an excuse to
catch up with you as well. That's what it is, isn't it?
This week you had Joe Schmidt.
We did.
On.
Yes.
He's bringing his Australia team back to
did.
Dublin.
Yeah. We, really lucky to catch up with Joe. Obviously, he's involved with the Australia team now. So for him to come out of camp and talk to us, it was amazing because...
So hang on, Joe, I just want to check, out of camp, so he's not in the jungle, is he?
No, he's not. No, he's
okay,
not
fine.
in the jungle. That's Maura Higgins and Barry McGuigan territory.
Okay, fine.
No, Joe is obviously in Australia. Well, he's in Dublin, but he's with the Australian team at the moment. Obviously, they're going to be playing against Ireland tomorrow, which is going to be a huge match. But he was such a massive part of Irish rugby between coaching with Leinster, then, of course, coaching Ireland. He coached Ireland to the first time ever beating the All Blacks in over 100 years.
That was in Chicago.
It was, yeah, amazing.
Which I know was a high point for Ireland.
It was,
Low point for you, Tommy. Tell us why that was.
Well, I didn't get picked, Paddy, but thanks.
And
don't worry about it. I'm not still upset about it.
So Joe Schmidt didn't pick you?
No, Joe didn't pick me. Well, that was the thing, actually. That was where we started off the podcast because, listen, Joe, it's great to have you on the podcast, but you literally finished both our Ireland careers. So no bad blood, nothing to worry about here. What could go wrong? Listen, Joe was obviously the man who orchestrated that win over in Chicago, beating New Zealand. We'd never done it in over 100 years. Amazing. I had been a part of the team that ran them so close back in 2013. And we were winning, I think it was 18-0. The Aviva was rocking. I've never felt it going in at half-time. We were flying. Everything was going great. We're going to beat the All Blacks, lads. What could go wrong? Second half. And they get within, it's injury time. They are still, I think, 3 or 4 points behind us. And, of course, I was still stuck in the ruck where I shouldn't have been. I was meant to be out on the touchline, and they went and scored in my wing. And the following Monday, Joe made us watch that back over and over and over again, and I just sunk further and further into my seat, knowing that I could have maybe stopped it.
And on the podcast, that was the reason he gave for ending your Ireland career.
I think there was many reasons why he cancelled my Ireland career. But listen, it was great to catch up with him. He's a great guy, great servant to Irish rugby. But listen, it was great to catch up.
OK. Is he confident?
He is confident, yeah, of course.
Are you confident that Ireland are going to get the job done tomorrow?
Totally. I think that Ireland are we had that upset early in the campaign against New Zealand. Neither teams played very well, and I think Ireland have certainly grown from there. I'm really excited to see Sam Prendergast. He's the young he's 21 years of age. We have a Leinster supporter up there. Fair play. So he's getting the nod for his second ever start in the number 10 jersey. So there's a lot of pressure on him. So I hope he goes well. No doubt Joe Schmidt will have a plan to go and target him. But it's going to be a cracker match. I love these games. I love international rugby. And I think the crowd, you can just see the atmosphere and the attention it gets. People are so happy and proud of this Irish team.
We've got it. Yep, we've got... We got a few Leinster fans in. Obviously, you grew up in a rugby hotbed like Leinster. You grew up in Monaghan.
Yeah, not quite the rugby hotbed. No.
How did you end up playing rugby up there? I mean...
Yeah, well, good question. So I obviously grew up in Monaghan. My mum is from Kildare, my dad is from Waterford. They're both big into rugby. We came up to Monaghan, and it's Gaelic football territory. I mean, there's one rugby club in the whole county. But from a young age, I was going to school there, or going to play in Monaghan Rugby Club. But when it got to going to secondary school, I actually went to study up in Armagh, just across the border. And rugby was obviously quite big there. And
is it the Royal?
The Royal,
in
yeah,
Armagh,
exactly.
Yes.
So the way it worked is I played rugby in the wintertime and Gaelic football in the summertime. It all worked great up until I was kind of playing under minors Monaghan football, and they wanted me to train during the rugby season. And at that stage, then I kind of made the decision that rugby was the way I was going to go. But listen, it was never going to be a career for me. I mean, I didn't play for Ireland schools. I didn't go the traditional route that you see all these young superstars going through. Didn't play for Ulster schools, really. And my plan was to do my exams, head off to university in Dublin or Scotland and take up drinking as a module. I thought that ship had sailed as much as I would have...
Sounds all right, Tommy.
Well, to be fair, I think I picked the wrong route, didn't I? But it was just, it's amazing how things happen. And I think it is something that I try to tell a lot of young people that, when one door closes, another one opens. And when I finished my A-levels, which I did in the north, I completely flunked them. My mum was absolutely devastated with me, and I didn't know where I was going to go because I didn't get into any of the courses I wanted to get into. And my rugby coach saw me, said, listen, it hasn't gone well, but I think you've got a chance of going to study in Belfast, and I'm going to talk to the head of the Ulster Academy to give you a trial.
And was it your hair that got you noticed? Yeah?
Yeah.
But this was when you were going through your Peter Andre phase?
Peter Andre would have been pretty devastated with this hair, and this says a lot about it. So I went off, so he said, I'll get in touch with the head of the Ulster Academy and we'll see what happens. I said, I'm going on a lad's holiday to Tenerife. Can you wait till that's over? So we said, well, OK, we'll see if we can hold. How long ago? For 2 weeks. So I said, great. Came back from Tenerife. I had bleached blonde hair. I had dyed a blue stripe down the middle of my hair, but it wasn't permanent dye. So every time I jumped into the swimming pool, it started to go greeny grey. So the state of my hair, my mum picked me up off the bus and took me straight to the doctor. But literally the following day, I had to go...
To the doctor?
Yeah. I didn't look healthy. I didn't look healthy.
Okay.
Anyway, the following day, 2 days later, I had my first trial for the Ulster Academy, and I had this bleach blonde hair, that my hair was all greeny blue, and it stood out. I probably had the best match of my life in this trial. Got asked to come back the following week, same again. I was 18 years of age at that stage. I got into an engineering degree up in the University of Ulster, and within 2 years, I represented Ireland in the old Lansdowne Road for the first time. So it's amazing how these things happen.
Brilliant.
So,
brilliant.
It is. You don't always have to go the traditional route, and that's something that I've always tried to do in everything that I do.
A lot of people in your game, they go into punditry rather than going into the hosting. Why did you go into the TV hosting?
Well, listen, I think that when you get my dream, and when I said that in school, it didn't look like I was going to fulfill my dream. I went to the old Ireland matches from such a young age. I always wanted to represent Ireland, and I thought that ship had sailed. But once you get into it and once you become a professional rugby player, you are living out your dream. These guys who are going to be playing against Australia tomorrow, like, what, how amazing to be running out in the Aviva Stadium with 50,000 Irish supporters there. But the problem is, it comes to an end pretty quickly. So by the end of your 20s or early 30s, you're finished.
And did you have an eye on it? Like, when you saw your career finishing, did you think, that's what I want to do?
Not really. I did a bit of engineering. I was involved in shoes and clothes, which I've been involved in for 15 years now, which is incredible. And I kind of thought, like, what can I do? What's going to give me a kick that, like running out onto the Aviva, like representing my country or playing for Ulster? And there's nothing, you're not going to get that really in business development or as a salesman or whatever else. But live television, presenting television, I thought if I can crack that, it gives me longevity. And that's why I thought I went off and I did a diploma in journalism. I tried to get as much work experience as I could. I got in, as soon as I retired from rugby, I started working for Air Sport and presenting their URC rugby coverage. And then all of a sudden, Ireland M, an opportunity came there, and I was actually modelling my clothes one day, and they asked me, you wouldn't stay on maybe and do a little link to the camera? And hey presto, a couple of months later, I got a job.
There you go. So you're doing the TV. Yeah. So you're doing the TV, you mentioned the clothes, the podcast, and now, Tommy, you're launching your own skincare range.
Skincare range, yes, I am. Tell you what.
That's Christmas sorted?
Not quite anti-wrinkling cream yet, but we're working on that. Yeah, I thought with the shoes, the clothes, but we thought skincare, why not? You know, that I come from a rugby background, you probably wonder, skincare as a rugby player. Like, I started off in the change room and you had, I mean, the closest you got to your morning routine was Paul O'Connell putting his fake teeth back in, or John Hayes rubbing slurry on his face, telling us all it was anti-aging. But now it's changed. You know, you see the lads, you have the front row discussing what retinols and moisturisers they use. They're discussing what SPF they're going to be wearing in the Aviva this weekend. Even Conor Murray at the weekend was talking about how he gets his back lasered. So it's all changed. So I thought, well, why not get on this? So yes, I've launched a new range of fragrance products. We have Flow for Men, it's called, Flow by Bowe. Like we did there, yeah. We were going to call it Eau de Bowe, but then I thought Eau de Bowe sounds like Eau de B.O., which sounds like body odour. I don't think people want to smell that.
What does it smell of? Does it smell of Monaghan? Or what is it?
I'll give you a smell if you want to try some. Would you like to try some? Hold on there now. Just always keep it on hand, just in case.
There you go.
What do you reckon? Very nice, isn't it? Very Mediterranean, actually, I thought. You could do it. He's going to be smelling fresh all night, which we're delighted to hear. But it's great crack, and I love it. And I go around, because with the shoes and clothes, I go around the country, and we're over 300 stores around the country. And when you're out visiting, and that's what I love to do, I go out to the shops, I meet the shop owners, I meet people who are buying it. And
you have a chat with them.
Chatting and seeing what they want and what's like and what's working. And then you go into the chemist and you see kind of some of the really amazing Irish products that are in there, but they're all for women. And I thought, well, why not try and do something for men? And that's what we're doing.
So you could be the Irish Tom Ford.
Oh,
that's
yeah. Well, listen,
Tommy Ford.
Tommy Ford.
Tommy Ford.
There you have it, exactly.
Before we let you go, a wee score prediction for tomorrow?
Yeah. Listen, it's going to be a fantastic match. I think Joe Schmidt, the whole history of Joe coming back to Dublin, I hope he gets a brilliant response. He's quietly confident, but I hope we send Australia home packing. I think Ireland are definitely going to finish off the autumn series with a bang. Yeah.
Very good.
It's going to be amazing.
Always good to have you on, Tommy.
Thank you,
give it up one more time for Tommy Bowe. Tommy's new line of skincare products, Flow by Bowe, are available now.
What are you laughing at?
I was laughing at you. Give it there.
The perfect gift for the man in your life.
There you go. Available in pharmacies nationwide or flowbybowe.com.